we didn't want it to fill up.
Yep.
So today's project that we're working on the house we bought that's over 100 years old is replacing the main line, water line into the house, because we've got old galvanized and we've got pressure choked off, and then we have some serious, like, I don't even know what people were thinking when they ran water in this place, but it's pretty funky. So yeah, we're trying to get it done before it starts getting entirely too cold, since we have our water line exposed. And then this is going to be running PEX back into the house. And then this is kind of if any of you have worked on older homes, this is our new house, new old house. If any of you have ever worked on older homes, you know you start one little project and it becomes a bigger project. So this is why we started the project in the first place, is that is the only spigot, outside spigot, that we had. And as you can see, we had to dig the ground out just to like put a hose connected to that. So it is just funky. I should have videoed a little bit more so you could see and like scratch your head like, what the heck was people thinking? But anyway, we ran. My husband did a lot of the work during the week while I was at work, but ran new line, put a new frostless hydrant there, and then we have this access panel that we'll have to address eventually, but we got some little bit of sketchiness going on here. When we bought the house, they'd said that they had problems with critters getting into the house. Well, critters being mice, which, ew, nobody likes mice, right? At least not in your house. So we got some serious yuck going on. A lot of old galvanized, trying to rerun this main line. It's probably 5 feet in the ground and then up through here, and eventually we'll have to address how we're going to insulate all of that so it doesn't freeze during the winter, because here in our part of Idaho it gets pretty cold. So we will have to throw some insulation foam board in that tonight, because it's supposed to drop in the 30s. Anyway, definitely some projects when it comes to the house that we purchased that we'll be sharing along the way. But yeah, here we go.
Okay, I gotta stand up my legs. My knees. Oh.
Well, at least you were able to break it free, because
Yeah.
who knows how long that's been in there.
A while.
A while. Yeah. Last night's storm got us some snow in the mountains. So, as some people would say, We got some termination dust. So, I mean, usually it'll warm back up. And then we don't usually get a decent amount of snow until December. So, anyway. Yeah. I'm all ready for Halloween. Me and my hubby really love to decorate for Halloween, so got to do some more tweaks to my witches over there, and then we've got spiders and graveyard, except for I lost one of my headstones because of the wind. But yeah, and Mr. Pirate there. Found a white spider, which is cool because it glows with my black lights. And then this ghouly ghost here. Yeah. Maybe I'll get some pictures of what it looks like at night. And then my spider, hopefully we get some screams out of that from trick-or-treaters. Anyway, gonna be a beautiful day. Here's a good reason why galvanized is just not great. Look at all of that build up gunky crap in there. Just starts choking it off.
Okay. Watch that. It's turning.
Doesn't look like it's turning.
Okay.
Okay, wish us luck because it's Sunday and not everything's open that can get access to parts. So wish us luck that nothing major happens, because if so, we'll be without water.
Good first time.
Yeah, well.
Oh. Why is that? Maybe the whole thing was turning. Oh, gosh dang it.
Do you want me to get down there and try?
You could just lay down here and hold it. Wait.
Hi, we got the new fitting on there, which now needs to be just tightened.
Which one did I have? This one doesn't.
Looks like
This one.
side.
It only fits the old one. Damn it.
All right, so now we are in the house working through this mess that's in the house. So, yeah, anyway, this is how everything was ran, at least now. We've got, this is the drain for the washing machine, hot and water for the washing machine. Again, this is over 100-year-old house, and this is the only part of the house that has not been updated. So, I mean, you've got old wallpaper, lath and plaster. Anyway, this is where the hot water heater is, or water heater is. Correction, you don't heat hot water. And then we've got some lines, assuming that these go into the upstairs bathroom. Kind of got going on. Anyway, this is where you can see down in there where that union is there. This union right there. That is the main water coming into the house. Goes up underneath all of that. If you can see, under the floor joists. Yes, that is dirt down there. Under a heat duct, back up through the floor. And then it goes up and round and back through the floor. And T's over here, which is ridiculous. Crazy. And then anyway, here's where our hot water heater is. Again, sorry, water heater, correction. And we'll have to address that because the water heater is not level currently because there's some wonkiness in the floor. But, I mean, in the comments, like, do you feel like this was like the main entrance of the house here? It's got the old, like, molding. I mean, ultimately, I think that's kind of cool that there's some old molding here. And then some, our wiring for the dryer there. But anyway, this wall is quite thick. And then when you look out here, you got some of the brick from the house. So yeah, throw in the comments if you think this was like part of the entrance, an old closet. It's got some nails and some border there. Who knows? Pretty wild. I'm sure we'll uncover some other wild stuff as we're remodeling parts of the house. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so here's an update. We turned on the water, the main water at the meter, and this pipe right here, that was the main line going, that is the main line going to the house, or was, that we redid with the PEX. Obviously we cut the wrong pipe inside the house because now we have water running to the faucets and everything. That's not the problem. No, the problem is when we turn the water on, the pipe we cut inside gets water in it, and then this backflows water in. So now we're trying to see how bad this fitting is rusted. We have to get this coupler off so we can cap this pipe, so we can actually get water, because it's like late in the day on a Sunday. All right, we'll keep you updated. Okay, here is the conclusion of the day. So, not still, after all we've been messing with, we still don't know exactly how all this plumbing is ran. So the pipe that we originally cut, thinking that that was the only way that the water was getting into the house, apparently was not the case. Somehow it's rerouted, because when we got the water back on, we only had a couple faucets that had cold water. So what we had to do is, where we had that union down there, and I know people are saying, oh, the yellow pipe, that no, the yellow pipe is gas line. Well, that's all we had at the time, so we used what we had. So we had to take the union that we had and reroute the water back into the cold water line, and then we wound up capping the one pipe outside where we had cut that. Anyway, this is going to be a bigger project, as like anybody knows with an older home, a bigger project than we originally thought. Anyway, with that being said, since we had this all situated, we changed the valves for the washer and dryer. We will reroute those as well, but at this point we are going to be redoing everything from the inside of the house so that we can use our brand new line that comes in from the water meter. Anyway, old homes. And I mean, again, kind of, we knew we were going to have some things with this house because of the age and how many times it has been added on to. And anyway, and just knowing where the hot water heater was to begin with when we did our inspection, we kind of knew we were going to have to deal with some funky stuff. We just didn't know how funky. So stay tuned. We will be tearing out all of that in there and rerunning all brand new water lines through the house. Just gonna swap everything over to PEX because now we have some faucets that just absolutely have no water pressure. So this is going to be a project probably sooner than later. So like here, let's switch the camera back around. Don't mind my dirty dishes because I've been busy working on outside or water stuff. So this is what we've got here. And I turn the water on. That is all the pressure I have right now in my sink. So yeah, that's not ideal. We'll keep you posted on another video. Keep watching. Again, thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Check that notification bell so that you can get notified when we put out a new video. And when I say we, I know my YouTube channel is Little Country Bumpkin. I try to video as much as I can, but I'm going to try and be better at making sure that you guys see that I actually am doing some of the work in the videos. So stay tuned. We're on an adventure. Thanks. Goodbye.